everyone. Welcome to No Movies in Hell. I'm Chris Geiger.
I'm LaPaw Scott, and today we are going over our top horror films for 2024 and 2025. Today with Tony D'Agostino, boredom professor and now reviewer of film,
editor at Film Quarterly.
Contributing editor to Film Quarterly. Welcome, Tony.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
Thanks for joining. So, Tony, we're going to go in order down to our number one. So what do you got for us to start off?
I'm going to go with Alien Romulus.
Okay.
All right.
I think that Alien is like a sort of, it's getting to be like an overpopulated franchise, but Romulus comes out visually stunning and actually does something conceptually different with, the whole Ripley Spinal Girl shtick that Alien has going. I was there for it.
Yes.
Love it.
LaQual, what is your number 5?
And my top 5 mirrors Tony's. It was Alien Romulus. Yes, high five.
High
five. We actually saw this together too. I loved it. It was stylish. I felt like the story gave it a little more weight, given that the characters are these younger folks that are just trying to live their day-to-day life and are kind of racked in debt. And it's kind of like the society of, it's horror, but then it's also a social experiment. You're trying to get yourself into a better place, or just a place with fresh air or whatever. And you have to take on these dangerous jobs. So they decide to explore and abandon a ship that's, of course, containing an experiment, and everything goes haywire. But the way that they did this was just so fresh and new. And even having the robot be more of a companion and friend and actual brother to the main character, I just felt like it was a little more human, even though it wasn't really human. And the storytelling was really amazing, that it almost balanced out the absolute horror of it. And so Alien Romulus was my number 5.
Awesome.
Chris, what was your number 5?
So I had a hard time ordering, putting them in an order, ranked order. So they might be a little bit scattered, but I really liked 28 Years Later. I had seen the old movies, 28 Days Later, but I forgot because it was a long time ago. So I made myself rewatch them. And I thought that 28 Years Later was great. And I liked the story, and I liked Jodie Comer, and I like Ralph Fiennes. I was happy with it as a horror. And I don't generally like zombie movies. So there you go.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah. The Memento Mori.
Visionary zombie movie. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have for your number 4?
I'm going to go The Ugly Stepsister.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's on Shudder. And it is a body horror retelling of Cinderella from the perspective of one of the ugly stepsisters. And it sort of takes on the idea that the ugly stepsister is being put through all of these beauty enhancing treatments that are violent and gross and torturous. And that she is being she's sort of like a victim of not only that class system, but also Cinderella's unmitigated, unstoppable ascent because of her beauty. And because she's favored by the gods, basically. Think about it. The fairies kind of come out of nowhere. She's literally favored by the gods, right? We see her as the underdog, but from the other perspective. And it is just beautifully conceived and executed, and just really just hard to forget.
Nice.
I got to write that down. Well, I wrote it down. Now I got to see it. It's on Shudder.
What's your number 4, LaQual?
My number 4 is Longlegs by Osgood Perkins. I was really anticipating this movie, and it's from 2024. So it was from last summer, June 2024. I immediately went out to go see this. I've been anticipating since I saw the preview, which I think came out in February of 2024. I loved the red herring of, Nicolas Cage's character. I love the whole detective arc in trying to figure out what's going on. I felt very True Detective, but also this sci-fi fantasy. I thought the images were amazing. I thought the story was great. I thought it was a thorough and fresh take on something very new within horror from the last like 2 years. And I really think that this kicked it off. It wasn't as campy as I thought it was going to be, because early last year, Megan had come out and it was like, oh, that's camp. This was very much, it was a mood, it was a tone. And I think that this really, I felt that it revived like that smart horror that we're now seeing in a lot of these films that have come out recently.
So my number 4 is Bring Her Back.
Mm.
So we talked about this a little bit before, but I agree with what you just said in that I do think horror is it's evolving into having more of a balance between story and the horror, the classic horror things like gore, where you're getting like this really sad story of a mother and her loss, but it balances with the sort of supernatural element that's happening, and it's really well done.
Yes. I think that this is where we're going to start converging.
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, like so. Because my number 3 is Weapons.
Mm.
All right. And then after that, because Weapons is, I think, a part of a triptych that is just going on in horror right now, which is like, Bring Her Back, Long Legs, and Weapons are all about the witch as a kind of like failed femininity that is like infecting the world, and that it has to be sort of like gotten rid of. It has to be like abjected. So watching those 3 movies in the same year, I felt like I was like a part of something. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know, when the movie is like, it gets better because it's a part of a bigger wave. And so the connections in your head, there's like a synergy going on, right? So I'm going to go on with Weapons. And I want to say that I like Weapons, but I do not like it as much as everybody else.
Okay.
I think that the narrative trick of like the Russian doll thing, where like they were going from each one, like to each character, got a little long. It got a little masturbatory. I felt. I didn't think they all needed to be there, but I think that there is nothing like Aunt Gladys. Aunt Gladys is an icon, right? Like that type of like physically unassuming horror. Like she's literally weak. Like she's literally falling apart, and she is so scary. And I think that that's a beautiful accomplishment.
I agree with you. My number 3, though, is Bring Her Back. It's terrifying. It's terrifyingly good. I felt so bad for all of the characters, especially the children in this film. Like, it's one of those things. And you think about like how people are just very single focused on certain things that they're trying to do, that they're willing to just destroy anything in their path to get to the thing that they want. And this, I felt, was it. It was just like, not only is this person, you know, very determined to get her daughter back, but also in ruining the lives of other people. But what I felt was hilarious is she's watching YouTube videos about incantations in order to help, you know. It wasn't even like writing things down. It's like, I'm just going to reverse the tape and like watch it as much as possible so that I can see what's going on. And it's one of those things of, this person is not modern in the way that she's, you know, collecting this, because it seems it's very ancient, but also the fact that like her occupation is to help people is just so, it's frightening, because there are people out there that are like, oh, you know, my job is supposed to help you, but they're not.
She was a social worker.
Yeah, she's a social worker.
Yeah.
And there she is, like just creating these obstacles for herself and others. So it's like psychologically horror. It's like chilling. It's really sad and heartbreaking.
My number 3 was Weapons, but I'm going to switch it out because we already talked about Weapons. And I'm going to say Companion.
Oh, wow.
Companion was cool and creepy, but it's creepy because it's so close to reality now. Like, I feel like could actually go off the rails. Like someone's sex bot could really go out into the world and do some serious damage.
I hope so. In fact, you know what? I think that's the best trajectory for sex bots. Right? I think that there's a justice in that. I think that, you know what's funny is that I had a problem getting into Companion because I forget their names, but one is on The Boys,
Yes.
right? And then the other is on Yellow Jackets.
Yes.
The two the two main characters, and it took me out. I was like, I just want to be in the forest, right? I want to be in the wilderness, or I need superpowers. Like they were so ensconced in those universes, that movie did not hit for me.
Mm.
Felt bad. I kind of felt bad. So here at my two is Bring Her Back, and I just want to say that that movie, the way that the prototypical failed witch is that her magic is really, again, not the threat. It's the way that she psychologically manipulates, gaslights, and abuses these kids is actually what's horrific. So you have basically like a zombie movie, but or zombie, yeah, it kind of is there. It's a zombie. It's a zombie, right? So whatever, a zombie movie. But one of the tricks of the film is that that's not even the worst part. Like that's not the bad part, right? It's just the way that she abuses these children, and it creates, it's almost like a psychological thriller that happens to have a zombie in it. And I think that that's brilliant. Those two brothers make are just magicians of genre and emotion, and they're disgustingly talented.
And they're like fairly young too. I'm like, they
32.
did a bunch of like YouTube videos. I'm like,
Yep.
what?
Yeah. It's like I don't even want to deal with it. Right. They're like two people who have like went into the genre, have it in their blood, and then put a spin on it. Like they also made Talk to Me.
Yeah, Talk to Me. Yeah.
And what their idea about horror is that horror is actually about trauma and loss.
Yeah.
And so, in a weird way, they have all of the affective weight of like a Lifetime movie, or like something that, oh my god, it's like a movie that Tom Hanks would be in. Do you know what I'm saying? Or like you know what I'm right? Like, or like like, but they put it in a horror context, and it's just intoxicating.
Yeah.
Like you're destroyed. Like I'm destroyed after I see those movies.
It's so true.
Destroyed. So wait. So what's your two?
My two actually was weapons.
Right.
I don't think I have anything else to add, but I do have something to add. I did like the fact that each character had like a chapter, because then you got to see the perspective from a parent, from the teacher, from the cop, from the drug addict, and then how it came together. Because you know what would have been interesting is if Aunt Gladys had a chapter. She was just there. She was just
I think
floating.
that is the proposed prequel.
Okay.
Right. That he's like the guy who made it. I'm really under researched. So the guy who made it has already said like, oh, we're in it. Like I'm thinking about it, because one of the things about that movie is that dude did not know or nail down whether Gladys was an actual person who had been herself traumatized and like had turned to magic to save herself from illness, or, which was our theory, LaCroix, is that she was actually like an elemental force that had mimicked being a person.
Almost
in
like
order
an It.
to what? Yeah,
almost like an It.
Well, because the thing is, she's stylized after It.
Yeah.
Right, like the color, like the color scheme, and the sort of like clownish, like it's like a monster's idea of what a human would look like.
Yes.
Right, or a monster's idea of how a human would dress, and he instructed the actress who played Aunt Gladys, who's super famous and they deserve respect. Sorry, I don't know her name. She said that like you decide how you want to play it and don't tell me, like A or B, like whether she's an elemental force or a witch, right? And I think that is such an interesting approach to filmmaking, like a filmmaker who's both a director and a screenwriter, and then saying like, I'm giving up a little bit of control to an actor, right? Like it's his baby, and then he gives up a little bit of that control, and that's a beautiful thing, right? And I think that the character like sings for like because of it.
Yep. No, I completely agree.
I do agree with you, Tony, in that I thought at a certain point, like when we were looking at each character's story, I was like, okay, how many characters are there? We've got the police chief. It's his anniversary, so are we gonna get his wife's story? Are we gonna like how many more stories do we possibly have in this?
It just got, and the thing is, I like the structure in theory. I just remember my feet hurting because I'm middle aged, and now if I sit too long, my feet widen. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that is a part of my cinematic experience,
They
you
have
know. And
recliners.
by the time that we got to drug addict, you know, I was feeling my dogs. You know what I'm saying?
I do, me too. For me, it's I have to pee. Like I can't sit
Oh,
for like I gotta.
yeah. Like, and it's like your body's telling you the director needed to, like the director needed to be a little more artful.
Or I just need intermissions. Like I just needed to get up for a few minutes.
All right,
So my number
Chris.
2 is him.
Okay.
What?
I know.
Chris, you like wow, curveball. I need to hear this.
So I just felt like it was very high production value, right? It was beautiful. And LaCroix, you and I talked about this. I think we should do an episode of places we've seen in movies where we want to stay, like as a vacation home. Like I definitely want to stay in that home. And
Oh, yeah.
the elements of like the sports hero and the making of that and the legacies and were sort of disrupted by just the horror elements, like the woman coming out from underneath the sauna vent. Like, has she been there that whole time? Like there were just certain elements where like, but so yeah, I'm gonna say him as my number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, because him has not been well received, especially by me, because I was going in really, I was anticipating it so highly. And you know what's funny is that Chris, it's like almost like I agree with everything that you said. Like there were so many interesting things about it. It should have been brilliant. And afterwards I found out that the home is literally a football stadium.
Oh wow.
He lives in a football stadium. They just redecorated it to be like a ultra modern home. But the end is supposed to reveal because when he comes out of the chamber,
Oh right.
he goes onto the field. So that entire time they've been in the stadium that's been like refitted as a home. Because like there's no getting away from the game, right? So many things interesting about it, but was it I don't know whether it was the script. I don't know whether it was the performances. I don't know. Like there's just something about it that doesn't cohere into like a into a streamlined film. And it's really hard because you remember The Sopranos and Sex and the City was going on at the same time on HBO, and you were like, oh shit, something's happening right now. LaQuan and I have been going to the movies this year, and we were like, horror is having a moment. Like horror has reached a new final form. It's every movie was coming out gorgeous, a synthesis of genre that like you couldn't ignore. Like you said, like there's been a balancing, right? Like these horror movies are about everything, right? We haven't talked about Together, but that's an honorable mention.
Yep.
It's all about like a horror movie about codependence, right? And about like the ways that we love people but can't get and what prevents us from loving the people that we actually love. And when you go to the movies and you see something like him, which misses the mark and everything else is like a fucking bullseye, it really suffers. It really suffers. Oh, sorry. I talked a lot about that.
No, it's
was
all
crazy.
good.
I just love him. I just love, even in its failure, I love it.
What is your number 1?
Yep.
Oh, my number 1, and this is like it's Longlegs. Because I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to fight. Because I know that the world has chosen weapons over Longlegs. Okay? I know that I'm screaming at the mountain. And when I say Longlegs forever, right? Like I say Longlegs forever. Like I'm in that basement. You know what I'm saying? I'm making those dolls. You know what I mean? Right? There is nothing. I think that movie is so problematic. I think it's clearly transphobic. Like I am so like fucked up about so much of it. But what it says about gender norms about like how what the monstrosity of that movie is when the witch sends a doll into a home and the doll acts like a magnifying lens for the gender roles that are already the normative gender roles that are already there. Mm-hmm. So men turn into a toxic aggression. Women get oddly submissive and vain and only want to look at themselves. And I was like, it makes the normal horrific. And that is brilliant. And I think LaCroix, because we was this movie, like we were together, there was nothing. I have never experienced a more powerful cinematic moment than the end of Longlegs, where everything closes in around you as the audience, and you go, "Oh fuck, we're in it now." Like we're gonna, like he got us, like right, like Longlegs gets you at the end, and that is like gets the audience, like me in the theater, right? I just wanted to feel heartbreak. Yeah, I just wanted to feel heartbreak like it's good in a place like this. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I had my pantsuit on, I had my glittery pantsuit on, and then Longlegs came and like took that, and I was like, this is fucking filmmaking. Like weapons, ha ha, and Gladys really got her comeuppance, right? And it makes me feel safe. No, Longlegs like punched through the screen and said, I got you. Like I'm in control. And woof. Oh girl. I still feel it, LaCroix. Chris, I still feel it.
Is that gonna be like your like annual visit of like, I'm gonna go see Longlegs. I'm gonna
sorry. Well, one, I have to watch it again because I'm writing about it for Film Quarterly. I'm gonna watch it again. But I could not watch it again. Like I'm gonna have to force myself. I was up. I did not. There is nothing scarier than Longlegs and dolls.
Yeah.
Like, I was everywhere I went. I just saw like I see those beady little eyes. Woo! I was so scared, LaCroix.
I remember talking to you about the movie, and then we went to go see the movie, and so I ended up seeing it like twice within a month. Oh,
right. Well, I mean, it's good. I'm sorry.
No, there's no apologies.
It's so good.
No
it's apologies. My number one.
My number one was Sinners. I thought it was great. I thought like historical fiction, horror. I think we touched on it in the last episode, but it's amazing. It's so packed with sociology, history, and then on top of that, history of vampires. I reserve for like the future. I know there's probably not going to be a sequel, but seeing vampires in like the modern age was a bit interesting. But there's so much to unpack with Sinners, and I just thought that it was absolutely beautiful film, brilliant writing, and I love the special effects and the styling as well.
I agree. Actually, Sinners is my number one too, or also, and so I thought the music element of it was really the choices they made were really interesting. When they're outside in the parking lot and they're doing like the almost like
the Irish jig.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that was so unexpected and great and appropriate, right? Like, of course, that is the music of vampires. Why wouldn't it be? So yeah, I agree. And production value super high, of course. Michael B. Jordan, awesome. Yeah. Do you guys have honorable mentions that you want to throw out?
I really love Sinners. I did really love it. I think that it's a problem because it's almost like Sinners is so genre multivalent that I almost don't. It is, of course, it's a horror movie. Of course it is. And like it's got all the tropes of horror, but I don't see it like I do like a Weapons or like a Weapons and a Longlegs and a Bring Her Back, like tittle, like hurts me in my heart. Like it's just scaring me. Whereas like there's something about Sinners where it's more like a battle versus good and evil. It's a little bit more of a superhero sort of situation, like because like it's more balanced. But yeah, and I think that like the idea about vampirism as appropriation really hit with the audiences, and they really got it, and they understood that it was a very like layered text, and they like on Threads, just the way that the audience went in on researching it and interpreting it was a beautiful thing to see.
Sure. LaQuan, did you have a honorable mention?
I had a few. Nosferatu, The Substance, Opus, which I feel like kind of went under the radar, but I really thought that was a very good horror film. I have Lisa Frankenstein, very cute horror film. I feel like that is kind of went under the radar last year as well.
My students love The Substance.
What do you teach?
I teach queer theory, writing, and English literature.
Okay.
And so we talked about it in my queer theory class, and they were like very into it. And I sort of like things like I don't like Taylor Swift. Like I don't listen to Taylor Swift, but I love how my students react to Taylor Swift. Like I think that's how I feel about The Substance. Like I love listening to my students talk about The Substance. I loved the way that Threads attacked sinners and was like really into it. Right. I just love movies that activate people and get them thinking. But I'm like a Cronenberg head. And I mean both of them. I loved Infinity Pool.
Okay.
Like The Sun and right. And so if you talk about body horror, baby, right? You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna take a lot more than Elizabeth Sue to get me up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like
yes,
it takes some more.
Crimes of the Future.
Right. Yes. Yes. Is somebody growing new organs? Like that's what Elizabeth Sue probably did that. Elizabeth Sue probably has some of her own organs. Yeah, but I think that the sequence of Sue emerging from Elizabeth Sue is one of my favorite scenes of that year.
Do you want to plug anything?
Oh yeah, my article on Sinners actually will be coming out in the winter issue of Film Quarterly. And if you want to hear what I have to say about Baby Girl, that's available now on Film Quarterly.
Okay.
And then and then at the end of the year, I'm actually going to be writing about Bring Her Back, Weapons, and Long Legs Together. It's filmquarterly.org.
Okay.
I think the next film I'll be seeing is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein while it's in theaters for this 2-week window.
Well, thanks everyone for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks.